Look at that. Such a good day for hitting balls. Straight into the draft. And you can see here that it's throwing up spin rates. You can see I'm controlling it subconsciously. 6,000, 5.8 on that one. But averaging about 6,000, just controlling the flight. I think when you have grown up in conditions like this and you're loosening up, you can't but help, can you, subconsciously, and watch that if you're out there fitting. Always just turn the handle down and cover it and give you that nice ball flight that you think is spinning. It's just so good. It's just up there against the cloud, holding, drifting down, wind's bringing it back to target. Again, it's the best day to hit balls into breeze like this, 6,000 spin again. It just makes you want to be a good striker and hit on it. And it's brought me through to a good example and a good time to talk about. It's not something I'd normally cover, but I'm going to do a bit more of it. This new stealth iron. So I play P7 MCs. All the good players out there who listen to this, I've talked to you before about this. You want to spin, if it's a 6 iron, you know, a 6,000 spin number is pretty good. And then I was chatting to the lads here at the Kingdom. Say the loft on a 6 iron is about 31. On a regular day, if you launch it at half of that, means you're swinging it efficiently. So whatever the loft is on the club. So again, just to think about this, 6 iron for me, 31. Know your lofts if you can. I've launched that last shot at 13 and spun it at 5.9, 6,000. Again, because I'm turning it into the breeze and I'm compressing it. That's why I like to practice on windy days like this into the breeze, because it makes you a good striker. So if you've tuned onto this, you're like, all right, well, I'm interested in the stealth iron, and I get what it is. I get that it's a larger looking club. Well, it's a nice looking club. The lofts are a bit stronger if you're going to buy them stock loft. But what we're trying to recreate for you guys buying them is a club that comes out with power, gives you that ball flight, that spin number that you need to get down it, to control flight, to be a good golfer, but it does it really without you having to get that strike. So your first tip is practice on days that are into breeze if you want to really practice your irons, because that's going to make you someone who can turn and flight it. But if you're not there, going for these stealth irons, I'll let you read up the engineering stuff on the website about the carbon in there and the design and the speed pockets. I'm not here to regurgitate the website to you, but when you test them and you pull up your 6 iron, you're going to notice it looks a bit stronger in loft. The idea is you're probably out there as a golfer trying to help it into the air. It's the last thing we want. I've just launched my 6 iron into breeze at 13 degrees. What we want you to be able to do is understand that when you turn onto it and compress that ball and squeeze it out between the turf, you're going to get the best results out your stealth iron, your P790, your 770. Do you know what? Your whole game. It's only really the driver, because it's pegged up, that we want you hitting up on it. Everything else, we want you to be squeezing it between the turf. Now, this isn't in my spec, but to give you an idea on spin, if you're a better player, and I'm 183 with my 6 iron, just to show you the power, and I'm just cruising, I'm just loosening up. Not the best strike, clubs are a bit upright for me. Came out a little left because the clubs are a bit upright. That's lie angle. Let's not worry about that. Let's just look at the numbers. And you can see, and I'm going to make sure I get one really pure for you before we're all done here. Launched lower, spun down at 4,000, 1,193 in the yardage. So instantly it spins less. And the reason it spins less, there's a pure one. The reason it's, and you can see now strong, not as much spin on that. Again, I'm going to come back to it as to why, because you as the golfer this is aimed at, this is needed for. Spin rate on that last golf shot, 4,800, hit pure, 11 launch, 206 yards into wind, proper strike. So I've gained 20 yards, I've launched it at 10, spun it 4.8, 206. That's a good enough shot for me to demonstrate what I'm trying to show you here. Significant yardage gains, but the spin is very low. Now you as the golfer this is aimed at are going to be backing up on it, helping it in the air. You want distance. When you're back here, you're scooting usually to the left or trapping and over the top and you hit shots that are called fades or slices that gives you much more spin. This iron has dropped for me 1,100 spin into this breeze. Because it's dropped that spin, it gives you more yardage. That's where you get the yardage gain when you deliver consistently. So if you're looking for distance, this is your iron. If you're looking for something that's going to help you with strike, there's nothing better out there. It looks good on the eye. It's got all the tech in it, which again I'll let you read, but it's if you're the player who's looking to get distance and understands that you give it peak height, you give it spin because of the way you deliver the club. But what I would press you to do, because we always want you to improve here at TaylorMade and move into the 790s, move into the 770s, and a little tip for someone out there who's usually looking at me for gear advice and is not sure how they improve. Alignment sticks, always number 1. Practice into the breeze, if you can, always number 2. Try not to help the ball in the air, always number 3. Turn, squeeze, compress, and get that spin rate. If you're a good player, 6,000 on a 6-iron is very acceptable. If you're someone who adds spin, take it off with a stealth iron because it's going to give you that yardage. You will get the launch based on the lower CGs, so even if you spin it because you don't have the speed, a touch less than 6,000 when you get your fitting. So if you spin it at 5 or you spin it at 4, it's still acceptable because your launch angle will be higher. The higher you launch that club off the blade, the less spin you want in order to give you the yardage. And if you don't quite follow all this, chill, don't worry about it, hit the stealth, you're going to visibly see it's going to come out with more speed and it's going to give you what you're needing at that level of golfer. Cracking iron, well played by TaylorMade for the game improvement stuff, and it actually looks pretty pure too. I mean, to be honest, 206 into breeze out of a 6-iron, I might not even turn that down myself. Any more information like this, anything you want to know, hit it in the comments below. I always press you to get a fitting. I have a link down in the description as well. Hit that. It's going to take you to a TaylorMade experiential fitting page. Well worth checking out. Until next time, that's it for this Tour Truck Tuesday.